Okay, come on babies. It's time for the party! Y'all, welcome back to Cat Chats, okay? This is the first one since we've been in Dallas, Texas. Y'all, it's hot here, I'm already sweating. Sadie, come here, kitten. Listen, we've got some new cats to introduce y'all to. Ooh, man, that little move I did stirred up the dust in the cat hair. Got my cat videos and chill tea on. This is my new uniform. I wear this, I don't know, at least 2 to 3 days out of the week, maybe 4. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. We're gonna do a little story time. I gotta fill you in on some things that have been happening over here. Okay, girl, good, good, all right. You don't bite me. You know what, she's really been naughty and acting up since we moved. Girl, that is no way to greet your friends. Okay, so here's the thing, is that there's 2 other cats here. Sadie's a little antsy because there's other cats. She's gonna go over there and see. I don't know if y'all hear that. So I wanna introduce you to my brother's cats. These little muffins are just the loves of my life. Kitty is kind of coming into the picture. Say hi to my friends. I would pick her up. Oh, Fred's here. Oh my gosh, y'all. So these are my 2 new little loves. This is Fred right here. I call him Fritzy Bitsy, and Kitty's right there. Oh, I couldn't have planned this any better. Ooh, you know, here's the thing. Things are still a little touch and go with them. Normally I touch and then they go away from me. So we're working on that. We're really working on a relationship, really becoming close friends. Here's the thing, is that I bribe them with canned pumpkin every morning and night. And really what I've done is create little monsters that only love me for my pumpkin, but it's love nonetheless, so I will take it. So excited to have you here, Mr. Fritz. I have always wanted an orange boy cat, and now my dreams have come true. Even though he's not technically mine, I have taken him under my wing and adopted him as my own. He is not really accepting that yet, but I think that if I continue to give him treats and love and pumpkin, that he will one day love me. Probably not as much as I love him, but we're gonna get there, or at least get close. Cat chats with new cats, y'all. This is so exciting. Sadie, you know, she's pouting in the corner because, you know, the 3 of them really aren't getting along, but so I figured, you know what, it's been a hot minute. Let's sit down. Let's talk through some of the things that have been going on over here, okay? I've been living down here for like 4 months now, and so much has gone on, which is surprising because I only leave the house like once a week to get groceries. So how a lot could be happening, I don't really know, but it is. So I figured, let's just go ahead and tell you. Where do we even start? Where do we even begin? Let's start with some of the things that happened right when I moved down here. So I grew up in Oklahoma. I am terrified of storms, tornadoes, thunder. No thank you, please keep them far away from me. So in moving to Dallas, I made a huge mistake. You know, I just didn't really know what to expect as far as that. What had happened was right after I moved down here, it was like 2 or 3 days. It was a Friday night, and my cousin had like this talent show. So my mom and my dad decided to go to the talent show with the rest of my family, and I decided to stay home because I had literally had no alone time in like a week and a half. My cat had just died. I had just picked up my life of, you know, 18 years in Fort Collins and moved it out here. So my head was kind of spinning. I was like, let me just take a little bit of time. Let me sit down. Let me try to collect my life and see where I'm at. So I decided, listen, y'all go. I'm gonna stay back. It's whatever, whatever. My parents had left to go to my cousin's talent show, and it was probably maybe like 15 minutes after they had left. I was laying in my bed just trying to woo-saw, get it together, and I get an alert on my phone that says tornado warning. I'm sorry, what? You know, in my mind, I was like, listen, I moved down here to face my fears. I'm gonna face this head on. I am not going to be afraid. Mainly that was because I looked outside and it was still super sunny and I didn't even see any clouds in the sky. So I felt like, you know what, listen, bring it on, tornado, I've got this. Quickly went downhill from there. The next thing I know, it's literally black as night. I'm in this new, empty, big home. No one's here. I'm completely alone. I've got Sadie. I've got these 2 little babies. The wind is going crazy. The hail is just It is a time. What do I do? Oh gosh, what do I do? I'm calling my mom. I'm looking at the radar. Like the radar's freaking purple, which means death is imminent. I'm on the phone. I'm screaming. I'm running around the house. If death is coming my way, I want to look it in the face. I want to know which direction it's coming from. I need to know the coordinates of where death is. I'm in the front of the house, then I'm upstairs, then I'm in the back, then I'm on the side, and I am just trying to figure out where is this tornado coming from. Then the next thing I know, the sirens are going off, and that is when I lost it, y'all. I grabbed Sadie, I threw her into a carrier, I grabbed my computer and some snacks, and I ran into our front half bath. It's like super small. It's literally like this big. I could barely get the two of us in there. I tried to get my brother's cats. I was like, Fritz, kids, come on, death is coming. And they wanted nothing to do with me at that point because they didn't really know me, and let's be honest, I'm a little intimidating at first. I'm a bit much. So they had ran under the bed and I was trying to get them. The tornado's coming, couldn't get the cat, so I was like, listen kids, you're on your own. I'm on the phone with my mom and I'm like, what do I do? I was freaking out. It was so terrifying. So that was like my first, I don't know, 48 hours here in Dallas. That's kind of what kicked it off. And actually what had happened is I guess there was a storm that was like coming from the north and one from the south, and they basically collided over my home. So my skylight's broken, the backyard's flooded, there's water coming in, one of the windows in the front, and I am just over here like, what have I signed up for? What have I gotten myself into? It was interesting because I had talked to like a bunch of people, and by a bunch of people I mean like the 5 people that live down here and I'm related to, and they were all like, listen, this never happens. We never get storms like that. And I was like, go figure. Thank you, Jesus. I see you. So that was the beginning of my time in Dallas. And things since then have been, I don't really know if it's been uphill or downhill, but it's definitely been some hills, and we've been going some places. Okay, so another story. Moving down here, obviously, like the theme of this entire move has been God just having me face my fears. And listen, I've got a lot of them. Some of them are irrational, and by some, I mean, I don't know, 85%, but fears nonetheless. And a lot of them are someone coming into my home and breaking in and hurting me. I'm very vigilant and very aware of what's going on around my home, and I'm very protective of my home. It's my safe place. You know, because of my job, I get packages from companies a lot, and usually makeup, skincare, whatever, all kinds of stuff. A lot of times stuff can get stolen in the mail because this stuff is expensive. And so I had been having a few of my packages disappearing and not showing up. I set up alerts on my phone from like FedEx and UPS and all that, letting me know when they deliver stuff. I had this email saying like, hey, we've delivered your package, and it wasn't on the front step. It never showed up. So of course my mind immediately goes to, oh my gosh, someone is stealing my packages. So I like called my mom, I got on the phone, I'm like, I'm gonna get cameras installed, I'm gonna get like, I can't have a dog here, but I was like, I'm gonna get some sort of like barking device and some sort of like, we will kill you, or whatever type of sign to like scare people off. Like I said, I just moved here, I'm new to the area, I'm new to this neighborhood. I haven't really got the lay of the land yet because I don't leave the house often, and so I don't know how safe the area is. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel super violated and unsafe. Someone is coming up to my door and stealing my packages. So this happens in the morning, and then later on that afternoon I was here. I was in the kitchen, I was making some food, and in my kitchen, like my entire kitchen is like windows, so you can like totally see out everything. I saw this black car pull up, and it stops right in front of my mailbox. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the culprit. And my mind immediately was like, death and destruction. He is coming to kill me and steal my mail. Like, I feel like I've been bullied by my fear most of my life, so I'm in this phase where if something scares me, I'm literally gonna look it in the face and like stare it down and not allow it to scare me. So this black car pulls up, and it's sitting right outside of my mailbox. And I kind of stood there for a second, I was like, oh my God, what do I do, what do I do? I was like, I'm going out there. So I walk out. Now, let me say this real quick. Looking back, probably unwise for me to just walk up to this car. It is dusk. I don't have my pepper spray on me. I don't have my phone. I don't know who's in the car. I don't know what's going on. Probably unwise, but in my mind, I was like, defend and protect your home. So I walk out to the mailbox and I just stand there. And I look, and so like looking at this guy in this car, it's a man, and I'm just like staring at him. And he doesn't look up. He doesn't look up. And I was like, this is super weird. What do I do? He's not looking at me. He's just sitting there. He was like on his phone. And I was like, okay, this is weird. So I knock on the window. I was like, roll the window down. Can you imagine what this dude was thinking? He rolls the window down. Oh my gosh, I am a trip. I was like, hi there, can I help you? Saw you sitting out here by my mailbox. Just sitting there. What's going on? You need some help? Like, I was kind, but I also was like, protect and defend my home. Bless his heart, he was super nice. He was like, oh no, I'm just lost and looking for directions. And I just like look at him. I was like, I open up my mailbox. I look in to make sure there was nothing in there and he hadn't taken anything, even though I knew he hadn't because I saw him and he didn't get out of the car. I look at my mailbox. I look back at him. I shut the mailbox. I was like, all right, just out here checking on you. And he's like, okay. Rolls up the window. And so then I was like, okay, what do I do? So I like go back inside. I'm still freaking out because it's this man in an all blacked out car who's still sitting in front of my mailbox, even though he said he was just there for directions. I was like, that obviously can't be true. He's here to kill me. So I call my mom in a panic. I'm peeking out the blinds. Y'all, I'm making myself sound so crazy. Well, you know, whatever. Anyways, so I'm upstairs in my brother's room. I'm peeking out the blinds. My mom's like, get a picture of his license plate. But then I'm like, what if he sees me and he gets angry and then he comes to the door? Then what do? My anxiety has just, I am in full-blown panic mode at this point. He sat there, Fritz, hold on. He sat there for like 5-10 minutes. But it just so happened that he pulled up right in front of my mailbox as my packages had been stolen. And so all of these things are happening in my mind. I think he's there to kill me. And so then, you know, I'm on the phone with my mom and then he finally leaves and it turns into panic. I'm on the floor, I'm crying, I'm hyperventilating. It just had turned into a moment that it did not need to turn into. Come to find out a little bit later that my package had not actually been stolen. The mailman just delivered it to the wrong house. So that was another moment that I had here. I think I've probably aged about 10 years in the last 4 months. And quite honestly, it's of my own doing. Well, not really. I mean, it's my anxiety, it's my fear, and it's stuff that I'm still facing, but it's like these perfect storm of events that are like all of these things that they seem to be one way, but they're actually not. And then it's just like, what is going on? But anyways, those are just a few of the stories. There has been a lot more that has been going on down here. I've got tons more stories, which, like I said, I don't really know how I have stories because I don't leave the house, but nonetheless, stories they are. But anyways, ooh, I thought we'd just sit down, we have a little chit chat with the Kit Kats and see what's going on. Whew. But overall, you know what, I would say the move has been really good. I mean, I love that I get to have these extra little babies with me. I love that I'm close to my family. Definitely don't like the heat. Oh my gosh, listen y'all. Oh, another thing that happened, lizards. Okay, I've been finding these lizards in my home that look like little cheetahs, but they have zebra tails. Now, there was a time in my early 20s when I was super obsessed with zebra print and cheetah print, and maybe I would have loved that then. Honestly, probably not, but definitely don't love it now. I've got these little lizards in my home and I've got these kitten babies that are trying to eat the lizards, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have a complete meltdown if I caught one of these cats with a little baby lizard in their mouth. I just couldn't do it. They have got bugs out here the size of small children. Okay, when I'm sitting here at night watching TV, doing whatever, I will hear pounding on the back and front door. And of course, I think somebody's breaking in. June bugs. What? These things are like this big, y'all. It's bizarre. I feel like I'm living in a whole different world. I'm not entirely sure where I'm at. My map says Dallas, Texas, but listen, I think I'm sitting in the belly of Satan most of the time because it is humid. Every time I try to take a deep breath, I feel like I'm drowning. The humidity is like a wet blanket. It's like Satan's breath on me. I sweat all the time. Bugs the size of babies, lizards in the home. What mind blown, y'all. Oh, and the water tastes like fish poop and fertilizer. I don't know what they're doing down here. I don't know what kind of filters I need to be buying. If you know, let me know. But listen, I can't drink the tap water here. I've got to either have a filter. I try to use the filter on the fridge, or I've literally got to like take the tap water and like boil it and then put lemon in it and stevia and all this stuff. It is hard to get a good glass of water down here. You are such a baby. I've got 3 toddlers. We've got Sadie right here. We've got Kitty Girl over there. We've got Fritzy Bits over there. Listen, I feel like I'm just running around wrangling kittens all day, and I love it. And you know, the rest of the day I'm eating Bluebell ice cream. Putting on a few LBs, but listen, like I said, turbulent times call for desperate measures, and I'm okay with it. Oh, here's another thing, y'all. Once I moved down here, I got invited to my first like influencer event. Y'all, that was another story for another time. If you want to hear it, let me know, because listen, I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was saying. I didn't know what was going on. It's a wonder that they have still reached out to me and spoken to me after that. But anyways, this was so much fun. Let's do it again sometime. Next time though, I will warn you, I've got a few cat tees that are sleeveless. I didn't want to wear them this time because I didn't know if you were ready for this jelly, so I wanted to ease you into it, you know what I'm saying? But next time we sit down and do a cat chat, I'm bringing out the guns, putting on the sleeveless cat tees, okay? I hope y'all enjoyed this as much as I did. This was definitely a time. Kittens, kittens, kittens everywhere. Kittens make the world go round, okay? Honestly, if it was not for these cats, I don't think that I would have made it through this move. Well, you know, let me rephrase that. If it wasn't for Jesus, these cats, and Bluebell ice cream, I don't think I would have made it through the last 4 months. It has been, quite honestly, like on a little bit of a serious note, this has been the hardest thing I've ever done. It's like one of those things that like, if you knew what you were getting into, you wouldn't have gotten into it, but now you're in the middle of it and it's like, oh, okay, here we are. We gotta keep going because we can't go backwards now. You know what I mean? But like I said, I love being close to my family. And that's actually really the only thing I love about being out here. But you know, I'm sure it'll grow on me. Actually, we're about 4 months into this whole ordeal, and it just hit me the other day that this is where I live now, and I should accept it instead of trying to resist it. And by resisting, I mean some days I will stay in my house all day and pretend I still live in Colorado. Super healthy, wouldn't recommend it, but you know, it's getting me through. We're getting there. We are no longer surviving, moving towards thriving. I have faith we'll be there eventually. I've got to go feed these babies pumpkins because they are just screaming at me. Okay, I'd like you to say goodbye to our friends. We've missed you, we loved you. Nope, well, we did love you, we still love you. We will continue to love you, whatever, love all around. We love you, catch you on the flip side. Boom. Oh, you were so good, you did so good. Sorry, rude, jeez. Whew. I think my upper lip's sweating.